Okay, how's everybody doing this evening? My name is Kent. The channel's Crypto Kent. Actually used to be EOS San Diego, but now I'm going to start referring to myself as Crypto Kent and not EOS San Diego. Not because I'm pivoting away from EOS, like the first commenter said on my video last night. This is not about getting away from EOS. This is more about, like I said last night, EOS is rebranding anyway. They're rebranding to Analog. EOS has a really bad reputation, has for quite some time, simply because of what happened with Block 1, Dan Larimer, and the $4 billion token offering, of which they promised people a lot and never really did anything. So every time I made a video about EOS, it always seemed to gravitate about how bad it was, how awful it was, and how I should give it up and not talk about EOS anymore. And I don't want that to be the topic anymore. I'd rather have the topic be something that's more general, more exciting, more helpful, more useful for more people. So that's why I hope someone's getting married. I don't know if you can see him or not. We got a wedding dress on behind me. So kind of a little bit of a wedding party going on. But anyway, yeah, right here is the car. It's kind of cool. So anyway, it's Crypto Kent until I think of a better name. This is an interesting car. What kind of car is this? I've never seen a car like this. It's actually got I think the seat on the wrong side. So anyway, interesting. People getting married. So even in times of trouble, people still having fun, getting married and doing good things. So anyway, back to my Crypto Kent. So I'd like to talk about the economy. I'd like to talk about where I think things are going. I'd like to talk about, the housing market. I'd like to talk about things that are much more exciting than just one specific altcoin, which is EOS. And it's not that I don't feel good about EOS. I do feel good about it. I like what they're doing. I'm very involved with the ENF. I'm on the ENF calls every Wednesday. I've talked with some of the ENF people, and I think they're on a good trajectory. And I think in the years to come, I think the EOS is going to do very well. It's just that at this time, somebody's got a Bentley here. Yeah, we got a Bentley right here. So let me check it out. Last night we had a Rolls Royce. Tonight we got a Bentley. So yeah, I mean, I'm just hoping that EOS keeps going and does everything well, and people continue to buy and support the token, because there's a lot of good things happening with EOS right now. So yeah. So now that I got that finished, let's talk about what I want to talk about tonight. Actually, the first thing I want to do is I want to do a little illustration. I'm not doing this from my computer, because people don't like the computer. They like me being out here mingling around people more. So this is probably an illustration that may be a little bit lost by the way I'm doing it, but hopefully you get it. And also, if you don't get it, don't feel bad, because nobody else gets it either. I've never seen anybody get this yet. But what I have here is I have a piece of paper. 8 by 12 piece of paper, whatever it is. But if you take this piece of paper, how you doing?
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Using the back camera. It's better.
What's up, man? How you doing, buddy?
You part of the wedding party?
Nope.
Yeah.
Just a roamer.
Yeah, sounds good.
That's what I do.
Yeah, all right. So if I take this piece of paper and I fold it in on itself, so it's this side folded in on itself, and then if I did it again, fold it in on itself again, how many times do you think, or actually there's another fold, there's another fold, and if I just kept folding it in,
It's not good.
what kind of car is that?
It's a Toyota Century.
All right, yeah. It's got the steering wheel on the wrong side, huh? Yeah. So,
Yeah, Amelia, your parking job is a second, but just saying.
so if I just keep folding this piece of paper in on itself, how many times, how thick do you think this paper would be after 50 folds? And of course, after just a few folds, it's not very thick, but after 50 folds, how thick do you think this paper would be? And think about it for a second, because it's a pretty easy, you gotta think about this pretty hard. And I'll give you a little bit of a hint. It's about a compounding. This is, if you've ever heard whether you'd have $100 a day or a penny that doubles every day for the next 5 years, or $1 million, $2 million, or a penny that doubles twice, or doubles, compounds every every day, I think you get into the millions. But anyway, that's kind of what this is. So if you look at this piece of paper, folded on itself 50 times, it will reach to the moon. And that the power behind this illustration is that the first few folds, they don't do anything. You don't even see any difference. It's just a little thin piece of paper. Where it really starts to make a difference, and of course there'll be a video below to illustrate this if you don't believe me. I think it's a TED Talk, 2 videos actually, TED Talk and somebody else. But if you do this physically, like I'm trying to do it now, I think about 7 or 8 folds is as much as you can do, and then it kind of gets physically impossible. But you can do quite a few folds before it starts to reach even the height of a man. And then after that, it starts to really accelerate to where the folds start becoming like gargantuan, like the size of buildings. It doesn't take very long until the folds get up to the star or to the satellites, and then all the way to the moon. But the reason I tell you that little story about the paper, is because that's kind of the way life is. Sometimes you do things, and the first time, or the first result you get is very, very small. You don't see any action out of the result. But if that result continues every day, over and over and over again, the compounding effect behind that result is like something I just illustrated about this piece of paper actually getting to reach to the moon just by simply folding in on itself over and over again. In fact, 50 times. I think 45, 50 times, and it's all the way to the moon. But I thought that was an interesting example. Like I said, if you didn't get it, I'll put the video below. You can check it out. So. Last night I talked a little bit about 2 things. I talked about inflation and deflation. And of course, I think those are 2 concepts that have really, a lot of people think about every day because it affects most of your life. How you live your life, what you're gonna buy, how much money you're gonna put in your savings accounts. I guess it's a Toyota.
Toyota President.
Yeah, that's what it is, Toyota? Yeah, that guy was here just a minute ago.
It's a very unique.
Yeah, he's got the steering wheel on the wrong side, huh? So inflation, deflation, very interesting. And I thought I've been thinking about this stuff all my life. And this is the kind of stuff I'd like to talk about on this channel, because I can use my life experiences, and of course my education, my time as a stockbroker, all my time in crypto, to kind of reinforce what I'm about ready to talk to you about, which is your money. And I learned one thing very quickly as a stockbroker. People are very careful, or not very careful, usually not very careful, but people are very angry, or they're very protective of their money. I mean, if you do something wrong, if you screw up an account, or if they're not happy with you. I mean, they can get mad very quickly. So everybody understands that we live in this world. We need resources to live in this world. And if your resources are limited, or if your resources are squandered or lost, that just makes your time in this world more difficult. So people are very careful with their money. So that's why when I talk about money, money is very, very important. People need to think about it. And I think we don't think about it enough, and that's why so many people, are questioning things, asking questions. What do I do? Should I, buy crypto? Should I buy Tesla? Should I buy, something really easy like a dividend stock? Or maybe should I even invest in government treasury bills? Very, very safe. But I don't know what to do. And of course, the idea of inflation, deflation is a good way to approach the problem, because first of all, if it's inflationary, you probably want to buy something, an asset, invest in the market, buy something that's going to increase in value that people are going to need in the future. Or if you feel like the money is going to depreciate, all the assets are going to go down in value, and you probably want to sell your house, put the money in a savings account, and the money will grow because the housing market drops. So if you own a house today, it's worth $1 million. If you think the housing market's coming down, sell the house, take the $1 million, put it in the bank, protect it, save it, keep it, because if you kept it in the house, it would be worth less than $1 million after a period of time, if you think things are deflationary. And let me give you a little hint. You're being fed a steady stream of information every day, all day long, telling you that things are inflating, and that there's no other way to go. The only course we can go is an inflationary course. And of course, most people believe that's a good way to go, especially if you own your own home, especially if you own any kind of asset. If you have your money in the stock market, you probably want inflation, because inflation keeps these assets continually growing and improving in price. And nobody wants a crash. That's the whole thing. Too big to fail. You know, the whole credit market is built on a layer of credit that we do not want to see reduced values from. We don't want to see reduced value because if the credit market goes down, banks don't want to lend out. There's not as much money available. So the whole thing of too big to fail is built on this credit market that's got to continue to improve in value. The costs have got to go up. And that's what you're being sold. That's what you're being taught. This is what everybody wants, even though it's still a bad thing because it erases the price of your grocery bill, erases the price of everything you buy. So that's why the government right now has got a campaign against inflation. And that's why they're telling you right now, we've got to raise interest rates, we've got to make things more expensive, we've got to pump money into the economy, we've got to pump stimulus in the economy, because we've got to continue to raise these asset prices, because if it goes negative or goes backwards, we're going to have a crash. And if we have a crash, everybody's going to fail. And if everybody fails, then what do? You know, and then we have the banks fail. That's what happened in 2008 with the too big to fail. That's why they bailed out everybody. That was the introduction of Bitcoin into the world, was the 2008 credit market. So inflation, good, but not too much. It's got to be regulated. And of course, who's going to regulate it? These government officials we have. Chairman Powell, the Federal Reserve, they make the decision on how to regulate this inflation, how to monitor it, how to protect us from it. So we're hearing right now. That's why we're hearing things are going negative. Stock market's down, Bitcoin's down, is because too much inflation. We've got to pull in the economy, rein in the economy, as if they have the power to do that. It's not a free market system. It's a crony capital system. And the crony capitals are the people that, now that when they rein in the economy, now they can actually go to the politicians. The politicians can add money to the economy by giving us all stimulus checks. I'm gonna let this train go by. Actually, it's nice weather out here tonight. So this one's gone slow because it's going to drop people off. So the overarching force, the force that's grinding against inflation, is technology. And what's going on with technology is actually reducing prices, while the government is deficit spending and increasing prices. So the way that works is that technology is a job killer. And I'll give you just a simple, like I said, I've got experiences as an adult human being in this world for quite a few years. I remember when we first moved to California from the Midwest, they used to bring a guy around and he used to check the side of our house to read the meter, the electric meter. And the first few times I saw that guy, I thought, well, who is this guy? What's he doing on the side of our house? And I didn't know who he was. But over a period of time, I realized, oh, this guy reads the meter. Then I got to know the guy, and he got to be a nice guy. And we actually kind of had a conversation every time he came to read the meter. Nice guy, worked for the power company. And this went on for a number of years. We had a guy reading our meter on the side of our house in California. Well, then all of a sudden I remember they came out with smart meters. Now no longer we need a meter person to read the meters, that they're actually being read by satellite. So I often wonder what happened to that guy who used to read the meter. Well, guess what? He doesn't have a job anymore. So technology eliminated his job because satellite technology become improved enough that they could actually read your meter from a satellite. So we don't need the guy running around. So he lost his job. That's a job lost. Over the past 20 years, we've literally lost hundreds of millions of jobs because of technology. You know, I grew up on a farm in western Nebraska. When I grew up, there was, a man and his family would live on 80 acres of land, have a pretty decent living. People would be, very stable in the community. The guy could be on the school board and could be on all the local boards as far as businesses are concerned. He was a very prosperous man for having 80 acres worth of land. When I left Nebraska around mid-1990s, I'd say that the average farmer back there probably was farming 1,500 to 2,000 acres. So it went from 80 acres to 1,500 to 2,000. Well, the reason it did that is because the tractor got bigger, the equipment got better, the GMOs means that the yields went up, everything got better. So what it did is it basically took a small town community and turned it into a ghost town. So the little town that I grew up in Nebraska, when I was a kid, had a car dealership. It had a grocery store. It had a pharmacy. It had a donut shop. It had a five and dime. I mean, it had everything. And then by the time I was a grown man, most of those businesses had gone out of business. Of course, Walmart moved in, and Walmart closed a lot of the small businesses down. And then after Walmart left, well, Walmart's still there. I mean, they built one more Walmart, and then they built another bigger Walmart. But in the meantime, they built the bigger Walmart, so more businesses got left out. In fact, I know there's a lot of communities that had a lot of tension with Walmart because they didn't want them to come into communities because they would ruin small business. And that's right, they would ruin small business. So now what we have, and I was in Walmart today, or actually the other day, not today, I think 2 days ago, and I'm actually noticing Walmart is starting to do like everybody else around here, which means decrease their inventory, less things on the shelf. What are they doing? They're losing out now to Amazon. So when I was a kid, everybody used to work in small town communities, small family businesses were eliminated by Walmart because of technology, because Walmart was able to supply chain, get stuff from China, bring it over here, sell it cheaper, undercut the small businessmen. Jobs eliminated. Now, those people working at Walmart, guess what? Amazon's coming in, they got drone delivery, they got all this stuff going on. They're gonna eliminate jobs. So eventually, Amazon will be the winner, but until something comes along better than Amazon. And then Amazon will be the loser. But in the meantime, more and more people keep losing their jobs. So what do these people do? And not only what do they do, if you're not paying, the power companies are paying a guy to come out and read the meter, your electric charges should become less because they're not paying a guy $40,000, $50,000 a year to drive around in a car where they're spending gasoline and time and energy and having a vehicle to drive around and check meters because now it's being read by satellite. So theoretically, you would say prices of energy will come down because now all the meters are read by satellite. But the problem with that thinking is that if the guy loses his job that reads meters, can't afford a house, the house price goes down. The house price goes down. The economy stagnates and goes in recession or retracts or retraces. So the government says, no, we can't have that. So what we're going to do is we're going to print money, deficit spending, because we're going to keep these asset prices higher. And of course, every now and then there's a bubble and it corrects, and we have things that we have happen here, in 2006, 2008, and then we also have things that are happening right now because they say things have gotten too expensive. So you have a little bit of a retracing, but the bottom line is the overall upward trend of the economy because things have got to get more expensive because the people that own assets generally are the people that have the power in the society. They vote. The other ones own real estate. The other ones own businesses, and they want things to go up, so the government wants things to go up. So we're constantly pushing prices higher. At the same time, technology is pushing prices lower. So you've got this offsetting force of inflation versus deflation. I used to hear some of these people on YouTube talk about deflation. I thought, what are you talking about? There's no deflation. There'll never be deflation. Until I realized that, started thinking about my life and realizing how many transitions I've seen in my lifetime in farming, in small business communities, in now Walmarts and Amazons, and how online businesses and how technology, especially by being in. Yeah, I am. Are you a YouTuber?
No.
Okay, my name's Kent. Nice to meet you.
I thought you were my other buddy, Kenny.
okay.
Yeah, we thought
Your
our
name's
friend
actually Kenny?
Yeah, Kent. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I can't even make this shit up.
Oh, really?
What?
Oh, really? Kent or Kenny?
No,
His name is
I thought it was
Kenny.
my buddy Kenny.
Oh, okay.
He's also a YouTuber.
Okay.
What are you?
I'm
what are you-
cryptocurrencies.
Cryptocurrency.
Bitcoin, EOS.
Is
things
that
like
real?
Oh yeah, really.
So what do I do with my 401k?
Buy cryptocurrencies. Buy Bitcoin.
What's my return on investment going to be?
It may be negative for a while, but it's going to be over a long period of time. It's going to be really good.
You should
IRA.
sell it to me. Sell it to me right now. If it's on your channel, sell it to me. Right now.
Okay.
IRAs and
Well, I'm here every night. So
Come on.
I'm in the middle of a video. I'll hit you up later or something like that. Hit me up on the comments. My name's Crypto Kent.
Crypto Kent.
Yeah, you'd be able to remember that.
I will remember
Yeah,
that.
Crypto Kent. Yeah.
I will hit you up later.
Okay, thanks. What's your name?
My name is Ryan.
Ryan, nice to meet you, Ryan.
I'm a UPS hub manager.
All right.
And I have a sick 401k, and I want to know what your advice is with
Okay.
my retirement.
Hit me up, man.
So
Yeah.
you were too scared to tell me like 2 seconds ago. So
Well, I
not
don't know
scared,
you, and
not
I'm on,
scared.
you know, I'm shooting a video, so I might edit this out. I might not. I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah. I'll be on it.
Okay.
I'll be on it.
Yeah,
I'll hit you.
I'll keep you in there.
All right.
Thanks, Ryan. So there you go, UPS hub manager, and he is wanting to do what to do with this 401k. So this is perfect for this video. I don't even know who that guy is, and I don't. He smelled kind of like he's had a little alcohol. So forgive me, Ryan, for saying that, but you were a little bit drunk. So anyway, that's why I'm shooting this video, and this is why I want to pivot away from something like just being stagnated, or not stagnated, but just being locked into EOS. And I'm not saying anything about EOS. I don't want to go there because I've been, you know, we do the challenge application. We're going to do a lot more things in the future with the challenge application. It continues to run on EOS and Telos. But yeah, we're going to keep going with that. And, you know, we're doing actually got some really good stuff coming up here. And we're going to keep that going. But in the meantime, I want to keep doing this stuff because this is what I like. Just like you say, just people dropping in on a video and, you know, talking a little bit about 401ks. So there's a guy who works at UPS, says he's got a sick 401k. Got a lot of money and he doesn't know what to do with it. So what do you do with it? Do you put it in the stock market? Do you buy Bitcoin? What do you do with it? Well, if you believe the government's going to continue to inflate the currency and make assets more valuable, probably want to buy something. But if you believe the government's going to fail and not be able to keep the prices going, you might want to, you know, be a little more careful and stick to more traditional things like treasury bills, or staying in simple stock, like my friend, the guy that I won't name other YouTubers, but he's got everything in dividend stocks, and he's even a crypto guy. But he likes dividend stocks because he likes the income. So that might be another way for you to go if you're feeling a little bit like the inflation might not keep going as strongly as it's going. My premise, my hunch is that inflation will continue at a pretty stiff rate no matter what the government does. It's just the system is built on that at all costs. When you got guys like Chairman Powell involved, he is there to defend the system. In fact, in 2008, when they said too big to fail, I gave you a pretty good hint that the paper that we folded a little bit ago is just probably on the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th fold. But when we get to the 30th and 40th fold, and those folds start moving from here to satellites in the sky, you're going to see some pretty big jumps in inflation. And that's about where we're headed right now, some huge jumps in inflation, because we've been folding the paper quite a few times. So that makes you a little bit worried and a little bit cautious. So my premise is that the prices of things are probably going to continue to go up much higher. The government's going to do that by deficit spending. When you can't afford it anymore, they're going to give you the money. So you're going to go on some sort of universal basic income. And probably, you know, the long and the short of this, and probably what I'll tell Ryan if he talks to me later, is that the only way to really circumvent this and to guard yourself against it is to get into some safe area, or some area outside, you know, some platform outside all these influences of policy, politics, government, money supply, money production. Get away from all that and get to something that is not influenced by any of those external influences, which would be Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, because they're not influenced by that. Bitcoin is not, whatever Chairman Powell does is not going to influence the base layer of Bitcoin. I mean, there's a lot of hedging and there's a lot of leverages with Bitcoin through, and I think that's going to be what's going to happen with DeFi, is people are going to leverage their Bitcoin. That's why you got to be careful about exchanges, because you never know when an exchange is going to be, you know, get involved with leveraging, and you're going to lose your crypto, kind of like what happened with the Voyager. And of course, it's funny because I listened to my friend Colin does crypto, and he said it's funny because I watched him today, and I just pulled him out because I was thinking about him today. And he talked about the biggest loss in crypto that he'd ever had. And I knew before he even started the video, it was gonna be EOS. And sure enough, it was EOS, even though he was in Luna. So Luna, the one that actually, you know, basically crashed to zero, he lost more money in EOS than even in Luna. So EOS just got a black eye. In fact, I would say EOS got two black eyes and a fat lip out of this whole thing. Now you got these guys with the ENF that are trying to bring it back, and they got a huge mountain ahead of them. But I believe, like I said with the cryptocurrencies, if they hang in there and they stay strong and they keep the community together, that it'll be a prosperous coin, and I hope it is. And I'm, like I say, I'm not selling any, I'm not giving any away, I'm holding on. But once again, we're at $1.50 or $1.30, $1.20, $1.10, whatever it is. It used to be $21. That's a pretty big hit. So, and it's funny because actually, after listening to Colin, after all of his talk about all the cryptocurrencies he's been involved with, and one thing he says, hey, from here on, I'm just Ethereum and Bitcoin. No, none of the other altcoins. I'm just sticking with those two. So I thought that was kind of funny, because I've come to that conclusion kind of too. You know, hey, in times of trouble and things are kind of hurting, you want to stick with the baseline cryptos, which is Ethereum and Bitcoin. I'm not even that big into Ethereum, but I certainly love Bitcoin, and I would say Bitcoin is probably your one safe haven in this world. So if I was young and I had a little bit of money, just like I would tell him, put it in Bitcoin and hope for the best, because Bitcoin is the one exchange layer that keeps you away from all these policy changes and all this money manipulation and all this inflation and deflation that even though there'll be times like we have today where it's gone from 60,000 down to 20,000, there'll be times where it goes from 20,000 to 250,000. So, you know, those are times when it come too. So anyway, I don't know how long I've been talking for. Probably the longer I stand out here, the more people. The best way to do this is just to kind of stand here and let people go by, because people will see the camera and then they want to know what you're doing. And most of the time, they'll ask you what you're doing if they've had a few drinks. If people are stone cold sober, they'll walk right by you and say, I'm not going to talk to that guy, he's a weirdo, he's doing videos. But if they've had a few drinks, they're uninhibited, and then they'll start talking to you. So that's what's going to happen if I stand out here long enough. But anyway, I've been going on for quite a while, and I would like to try to do this almost every night and talk a little bit about it. And I would hopefully get some feedback on the comments, so I get some idea of what everybody else is thinking right now too, because that's important. I mean, the one thing about YouTube gives you the ability to comment, join the channel, and exchange information back and forth. There is a join button on there, but right now I don't have any content for you. I can give you information and help you out, but you know, it's I think it's $4.99 or something like that. But we are putting content on there right now. We actually have content creators that are making a ton of content from the Challenge app that are going to be putting content on this. So if you want to join now, you're going to be ahead of the game. It's $4.99. But if you want to join now, we're going to create a lot of content for you. So we got a lot of content creators, and we got a lot of things we'd like to discuss. And we got a lot of information too. We've been doing this for the cryptocurrencies, EOS, for 4 or 5 years. And of course, before that, a lot of other stuff too. So there'll be some more content for you. Or you can just do it, talk to me. You know, if you want to talk to me, I'd be happy to sit down, just like I'd be happy to sit down with Ryan and talk to him. So the other thing I want to talk about is that, yeah, we're going to probably start doing that. But the other thing I was noticing last night, I look in the demographics on the video that watched the video from last night, and most of the people are not coming from EOS. Most of the people are coming from just a simple internet search or YouTube recommendation. I'd say 70% of the people that watched this video watched the video last night were internet search or YouTube search or suggested YouTube viewer, or just randomly searching YouTube to find something. So yeah, not all my people are from EOS. So that's what I'm trying to get after. I'm trying to get after more people to subscribe, more people to join, more people to interact. And if you want to do that, you know, I've never asked anybody to join this channel or subscribe to this channel, but it's free to join or subscribe. And it's also, everybody tells you this, I mean, I don't want to be like everybody else at Brooklyn, and I don't like introductions, and I don't like really weird editing. I like people that just talk freely, and not they cut them off mid-sentence and then they start up another word and they've cut something out, and it's like disjointed. I don't like that. I like to just have a free-flowing time, just like if you're a lecturer at a class. So you're not going to see any edits in my videos. I don't like editing, and also I think you know, you don't get everything. You know, you're missing something, so you never know what you're missing. So yeah, most of the people are coming from internet search or anything, you know, because I had the economy and I had something about Bitcoin, and so people will come for that reason and not because they are exclusively EOS people. And also, you know, the more I stand out here, the more people will talk to me. If you like that, then I'll continue to do that and just kind of get everybody else's point of view on EOS and some of the other things going on. So that's it. I think I'll wrap this one up, take my little scooter and head home. Appreciate you watching.